I'm Alex Bailey. Today we're going to be doing our second meeting for Fahrenhit 451.
Nope.
We've left you guys last time with up to page 65, was it?
60.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go up to page 100, entering the book to get into the plot. We know that the main character is Guy Montag, and he befriended somebody named Clarice. Clarice is a teenager who sees the world in a very different light from how the rest of the world sees it. Namely, she cares about everything that's going on and sees that the government has taken so much control that no one can think for themselves anymore. One day, Montag never sees Clarice again, and apparently she died. We don't know how, but we do know that she died. Suddenly, Montag's life is turned upside down. In order to try to find meaning to what's happening, he goes to find a man by the name of Faber. And Faber is an old professor who actually taught English at one of the past universities that nobody seems to know about anymore. Faber, along with Montag, come up with a plan in order to try to go against the government, in order to bring back, well, basically to lay a foundation for the future by holding on to the knowledge of the books.
Alright, so now we have Tim Thompson with his take on the book, his personal reaction. Tim, if you may.
Alright, thank you for that introduction, Astorino. I personally, at first, was scared with the idea of the book, but now I'm really liking the main character, Guy Montag, and his desire to fight the government, or fight the power, and
Fight for
print
change.
and consult with Faber to, yes, fight for change, to print books and spread them and try and get knowledge back into the world. Because if the reality, our reality, ends up like this, then we will need people like him in our world. Lots of them. So I'm liking it more and more. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for that, Tim. Now we'll be on to Matthew Axe.
In the meantime, though, Montag is getting into more and more of a trouble with his boss. And that's basically up to page 100.
Thank you. Now we're going to ask everyone's personal reaction on the novel.
What?
And now we have Ralph Dipp of Matthew Axe on his opinion of the novel. Matthew, if you may.
Okay. I like the book. Like, it's different than other books, really, because when I first started reading, I didn't really like it. I thought it was too original, but now I'm reading it more, and it's very unique compared to other books that I've read. And honestly, I like how sometimes it shows that what he's thinking, like a character, and what they're saying, and you don't know the difference, and I find that really interesting, and when you're reading it makes you think a little bit about the story and what they're going to say. And I find the story very interesting about how books are being burned and they really don't like them anymore. And
okay.
Yeah.
Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
like it. It's good.
Thank you. So now we will go to Matej. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, Matej Stefan Julian, book club president, on his reaction on the book. Matej Stefan Julian, if you may.
Okay, well, still, yet again, I'm not really sure if I like this book. I find the plot and, of course, the dialogue really predictable. Maybe it's just a copy I have because it's on the iPad and it could be transcribed with a few errors, but it seems almost cliched. Like, every single step of the way, you could probably just guess what was going to happen in the book. So it needs a bit of an unexpected twist to make it, to give it more of an effect. But so far, I like the idea that the author is exploring with the book burning, and once again the dystopian society that these people are living in. The jobs of firemen being turned around from putting out fires to actually starting them, and especially in the context of burning the literature to make society more conformed. On the topic of the society being more conformed and getting rid of all the literature, so people who don't read would actually feel better because they're not being outsmarted by those who do read. The Captain Beatty from the firehouse tells of the story of certain kids that used to read in school, and they were always the ones being beaten up. So yeah, now it's all reduced down to porn magazines in 3D too, as well as comic books. Yeah,
Is that all you have to say, Matei?
yeah, it's quite.
Now, Alex on his personal reaction of the novel.
Hey guys. So my personal reaction of the novel is actually the opposite of Matei. I'm really enjoying the book so far. Like him, though, I think that it's a really interesting topic that the author is going with. Because although it's set in the future, it also deals with something that's happening today, too. The burning of books does exist in the world. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's serious. Through this, it also shows you the lesson that we must never let government officials or those in power in any way to try to control us. Anyways, that's my personal opinion.
Thank you for that. So, my personal reaction to the novel. At first, I didn't like it. But after reading the next few pages, I actually started enjoying it a bit. It's not my favorite book, but I like it. So what made me like it is there's been a large character development. Like right now, we found out a lot about Guy Montag, that he's been hiding books in his in an air shaft in his house.
Stop moving.
And he has books, and he's hid one right behind his pillow, and now he's tempted to read them, and now he's been turning off like his wife's family on the TV screen, and the officer, the head of the fire chief came to talk to Guy Montag, saying, you know, it happens every time when a fireman breaks down, actually thinking about what he does. And also we can see that he's forgotten, like where he and his wife have forgotten where they met, and so he's realizing like what has he been doing his whole life. So he's questioning stuff about his life, and he's saddened by the loss of Clarice, because she was thinking about others, not just myself, like as he said. So he misses Clarice. He wants to start reading books, and there's been a lot of development from someone who was burning books to someone who actually wants to start printing them again. And that's my personal reaction on the book. So I thought it was very good. Matei, if you could cut it. And now we have again Matthew Axe. This time he'll be discussing the characters of novel Fahrenheit 451. Matthew Axe, if you may describe the characters.
Okay, thanks for that long introduction. But so as we already know, we have Guy Montag is the fireman. Obviously, we know that. Then we have Clarice, who is supposedly dead. We don't know, because she was an outcast. Because she liked to ask questions and stuff, and she's dead apparently. We have Guy Montag's wife. We have Beatty. Captain Beatty is the captain of the firemen, and he questions Guy Montag in his house, and we think that he knows about the books in his house. And we have Faber is he's a retired university professor.
Actually, exiled.
Exiled, sorry. He's a university professor who has books in his house and is kind of paranoid of firemen, because he was scared the first time he met Guy Montag in the park, and was really scared. And those are our characters.
Thank you for that description. And now Matei will just add on to the characters of what Matthew said. Matei, if you may describe them.
Now, at the very end of the pages that we're supposed to read, around pages 97 to 100, we meet two new characters who are friends of Guy Montag's wife, and their names are Mrs. Phelps and Mrs. Bowles. Now, in this part of the book, Guy Montag tries to explain to them his love for poetry and literature, and why they should have it too. But of course they choose not to, because they've already become indoctrinated into this society which strives to remove literature and pretty much illiteracy from its entire population. So they have a bit of a debate there.
Is that all you have to say, Matei? Thank you. conflict of the novel. Well, right now the conflict is that Guy Montag he's trying to change his lifestyle because like before he's a fireman, burning books, and now he's like actually trying to print them with the exiled university professor. So we've seen we've seen the conflict of him trying to like get rid of his old lifestyle, like him like keeping the book behind his pillow, and also there's him again with the exiled university professor trying to print books back on because he wants to like spread these books and he wants to stop thinking of like myself, like he says, stop thinking about himself and start thinking about others, and he's trying to model himself after Clarice, who was like questioning his life, questioning stuff about others, and that's the conflict of the novel. Thank you.
Hello. So the style of the novel Fahrenheit 451 is a first-person perspective from Guy Montag. We know what he's thinking and we experience his life pretty much, but the style of the dialogue is extremely predictable, which can get annoying, so in that perspective it is not very enjoyable, but the rest is very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.